The Huskies come into the game riding an amazing wave of momentum, likely needing to win the tournament to secure an NCAA spot. The Huskies have won their first 3 tournament games, the last 2 in memorable fashion. In the semis, they overcame an extremely slow start and used a late surge to defeat Tulsa. Despite playing its 3rd game in 3 days, UConn willed its way to victory, many thanks to a ruckus partisan crowd. For SMU, their plan is to come out much quicker than they have been these past few games.
It's no fatigue. I give him a little rest on Monday, and then we get back to work. So he has a heart of a champion. During the season, I try to take him out of practice. He don't let me take him out of practice. And like he said on the podium the other day, we got the best strength and conditioning coach in the world, Travis Hilligan, and he gets those guys in phenomenal shape for March. We work out in May for March. That's what we all about a year before. Just getting our minds ready, our bodies prepared for this grueling task that we have, and guys are really showing up right now.
No matter who we play, whether we're supposed to win by 40 or whatever the case may be, they're going to give us their best shot, and it's going to be a close game if we don't come to play in the first half. Teams are going to get hot, and they're going to hit threes, and if we keep having slow first halves like this, especially later on in the season this year, hopefully we go to the NCAA tournament, and teams live and die on threes. That's how upsets happen all the time, and we got to learn how to punch teams in the mouth first.
When you consider the magnitude of every game, they're all one and done. Just thinking about tomorrow, we're playing for a conference tournament championship, which is so important, especially, when you understand the significance of Selection Sunday and you win the conference tournament, you get an automatic bid, and I don't take that for granted.
It's great, you should see Dallas and how our fans are behind us, and just how the whole community is behind us, and we don't want to let anybody down, but most importantly, we want to send our seniors out the right way. We got 5 great guys, and 3 of them which was here when we were 17 to 15, 15 to 17, and the year before that, before any of us had got here, that was on that team when it was 8 people in the stands, and now that they're here, they're seniors, they're going out the right way, where we're selling out every game, winning championships and stuff. It's the best feeling for me to see them go out the right way.
You got to go through the best to get to where you want to go. So we knew we was going to be playing them in the chip. We didn't expect nobody to beat them but us. So we'll see them tomorrow.
We're just going to play tough. We're going to play every possession hard, and that's why I tell our guys we got to trust in one another. You just can't play. You gotta really play together, and you got to share the basketball. You got to have a will to share it. You got to have a will to play together, and then you just got to have a will to fight and win. And I think these guys got it.
Senior guard Ryan Boatwright is writing his own chapter in the Huskies' long history of legendary guards. His 3-pointer to beat Cincinnati in the quarters was followed by a gutty performance, leading the Huskies to an improbable win in the semis over Tulsa.
I'm a dog, man. I'm a dog. I'm a warrior. This is what I worked so hard in the offseason for, and in preseason conditioning, to be able to sustain my level of play for however many minutes I need to play to win the game. And I'm tired and I'm beat up. I'm sore, but I'm gonna be ready for tomorrow.
SMU knows they'll be playing in a loud Excel Center tomorrow, but SMU forward Marcus Kennedy is up for the challenge.
I'm a big fan of shutting crowds up.
The league title. UConn forward Kalina Mosqueda-Lewis was named the championship's most outstanding player. The senior led the Huskies in scoring every game of the tournament, including a game-high 23 Monday night. She was joined on the all-tournament team by Brianna Stewart, Morgan Tuck, and Mariah Jefferson. USF, for their part, didn't look intimidated by the Huskies. The Bulls hung tough all game, and the 14-point margin of victory was smaller than UConn's wins over number 2 Notre Dame, number 3 South Carolina, and number 16 Duke. UConn has only been outscored in 3 halves of play this season, once by Stanford during the team's only loss this year, and in the last 2 games against USF.
They're a really, really good team, and when you play somebody 3 times, obviously it becomes more and more familiar, and each time that we play them, they become more familiar with playing us. They've played their best basketball in the second half, and they are physical, and they are tough, and they are hard to guard. And it's probably exactly the kind of game that we needed, going into the NCAA tournament.
UCF played really aggressive. They have a lot of confidence in themselves, and as they should. They never backed down from us. They never really gave us a chance to breathe. So, we just had to, it's one of those games where we had to fight through it.
USF guard Shalithia Stringfield matched a career high with 20 points Monday night. Courtney Williams and Alicia Jenkins made the all-tournament team for the Bulls. After this tough test against USF, UConn will look to continue building and preparing for the NCAA tournament.
Teams aren't going to just roll over and die. We got to keep playing till the end. We got to make sure that we're relentless on the backboards. We're making sure that we know what we're doing on defense and offensively. You know, when things aren't going our way, we got to make sure that we get as many attempts as we can.
Yeah, I mean, conference title is a goal of our season. You know, we want regular season, conference title, and then the national championships next.
I just think the intensity level that you have to play at this time of the year, you know, and you have to be able to do it for 40 minutes. You know, you got to be able to sustain it. You know, South Florida played a great first half. I mean, they played a great 20 minutes of basketball. And 20 minutes of basketball is probably not going to get you, you know, where you want to be. You know, at this time of the year going forward, you got to put together 40 good minutes, and we'll start with whoever we play in the first round.
Hello, I'm Nick Aconfora, and over the course of the next half hour, you'll hear an inspiring story. A story that hopefully will not only touch your heart, but can give you a different outlook on life. John DeCasanova is currently a student and a member of the men's soccer team at Eastern Connecticut State University. In the summer of 2012, John was diagnosed with aplastic anemia. Later, John was diagnosed with lymphoma and given less than 1% chance to live. John tells us his story, and we learn why he is a true warrior. Everyone soon learned that John was going to need a bone marrow transplant to help fight the aplastic anemia. When Greg DeVito was informed, he took action immediately. DeVito contacted Be The Match, a nonprofit organization that's dedicated to helping every patient get a life-saving transplant that they need. DeVito and former Eastern Athletic Director Jeff Conan set up a bone marrow drive. He was diagnosed with lymphoma. Just when everyone thought it was time to move on, John was back in the hospital.
I was terrified. I knew that aplastic anemia was already bad. It wasn't considered a cancer, but then I knew that lymphoma was cancer, and it was really scary to see that he was doing so well, and I thought that was it. I thought he was done with hospitals, he was done, he was on the right track, and then he just got knocked back down.
We're all excited like he's out, but then to hear that and hear he had to go back, it was brutal. It was just a roller coaster because you go up, go down.
Well, that was the breakdown. That was a bad period.
It's pretty bad. I know I definitely shed a lot of tears.
It was hard because I had moments where I thought to myself, like, what am I gonna do? Like, this is my best friend. He's been my best friend for 2 years. Like, he's the person I'm closest to. I had a moment where I lost it, because it was like, he has fought so hard and come all this way, and then he gets slapped in the face.
You know, for a while, my numbers, because of all the chemo, you know, and radiation, had been at 0. You know, and they did not budge for almost over a year. But this one important number that we looked at every day, one day it just became 0.06. And you know, I know to a lot of people that sounds like ridiculous, because you're looking at a number that's supposed to be like above, you know, 200, right? But when you're at 0 for 1 year and then you hit 0.06, you know, that's a feeling right there.
He would undergo a special study, one that would hopefully save his life. The T-cell study that John would undergo involved a third party that gave up their T-cells. After the cancer, John did not have any T-cells. So essentially, these T-cells would keep him alive until one day his T-cells would come back. He was released from the hospital in September of 2013. Prior to the 2014 soccer season, John expressed how he would feel if he got a chance to put back on number 11.
That would be something. You know, I don't even know if I have words for that. It would be one of the most amazing things of my life, if not the most amazing thing of my life.
John did get that chance as he played his first intercollegiate game in 2 years.
And ladies and gentlemen, making his first appearance at Thomas Nevers Field since November 5th, 2011, the senior captain from Glastonbury, number 11, John DeCasanova.
5 games later, his dream came true.
Jones sending it through to the Casanova. The Casanova goal! For the first time since November of 2011, John DeCasanova scores a goal for Eastern Connecticut.
John's story is remarkable, and there are many different words that can describe it.
I would have to go with my favorite word, and that would be relentless. You know, there was no way I'd get through what I did. You know, there's no way anyone can, you know, get through the battles of life if they're not relentless. You know, nothing will hit you harder than life, you know, that's for sure. But if you are relentless, if you keep, I know it sounds cliche, but if you never give up, you know, you can get there. You know, and being relentless to me was the key. You know, so many bad things happened to me, but when bad things happen to you, you don't just sit there and, you know, pout about it. You do something about it. You know, you fight back. You know, cancer chose me, and I decided to fight it back. And that's pretty much what happened.
He emulates true strength in a human being. That's the story.
Eastern Connecticut State University is home to many collegiate athletic teams. However, one of its club teams has made a name for themselves.
Eastern Connecticut Rugby is a grouping of individuals who are staunchly independent, staunchly themselves. They happen to find a common bond in this game of rugby. Hi, my name is Coach Ray Aramini from Eastern Rugby. You called looking for me. He said, yes. I wanted to just let you know how very much Sam thought of your program. I said, what are you talking about? He said, we found Sam's body this morning, and he had fallen off a cliff. And again, I was doing the same type of questionings that I did 11 days earlier with Derek, saying, what happened? Fearing the worst and absolutely having that met with this information that I need to share with 65 immediate players that will shatter them.
I didn't want to believe it, and I really didn't at first. And I probably read that text like 4 times. And then after that, I remember I almost had to go home, and it was just tough.
I don't know. It was a weird experience. Someone that you were friends with, that you saw 2 days ago, just randomly passes away. It was really hard.
Throughout the whole day, it was just kind of in the back of my mind. I let the guys I was with know, but I didn't really kind of go into it because I didn't really want to bring their day down. I don't want to bring anyone's day down. I always like going out and having fun. And so when I got back from the beach, I just went in the shower and just bawled my eyes out, and it was a hard day.
For this group of young men, the program they belong to isn't just another sport to play. It is much more than that.
It's a brotherhood. A group of people that just never met in their lives just joined together and just became brothers over everything. There's nothing that means more to me than the people I've met through rugby, my coaches, and the program in itself. It's absolutely a brotherhood.
When I came here, I didn't expect to play. My coach in high school was a football coach. Was like, you should give it a try. I did, and I instantly fell in love with it, and it was just, like, these guys they're closer than my brothers back home.
I can go to any single one of these guys, and they'll be there for me.